Hi and welcome back to my channel. So my name of course is Dratlaw44. Hope you're having a great day so far. In today's video we're going to be talking about Armed and of course Dangerous. Lots of differences between the one that they brought out in Season 5, which is what I'm comparing it to, and of course the one that we've got now. It is a limited time mode. They brought it back. I don't think they expected to. It's not bad. It has its moments, especially if you have a Peacekeeper or something like that. But all those good things, and I'll get into all that content very shortly. Now before I do remember to of course never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. So one of the big differences with the new one is that you can find a vault. Very strange, don't know why, but there is a vault of course in the game, and extended energy mags. I have no idea what they were thinking and why they brought this into the game. However, it's there, and I'll be going into its location if you don't already know, just in case, because I suppose it is quite fun to use it, because let's face it, it's either you or somebody else. Right, well anyway, with that said, let's get back into the main part, which is comparing the two. So I'm going to go back to some old footage of Armed and Dangerous right now, and then I can actually show you some differences and of course go from there. Okay, so noticeable differences in regards to the old Armed and Dangerous. Now, it was a 2-week mode. They did do a lot more for it. There were some free skins. There was a badge that you had to really grind for. It wasn't the easiest. Luckily, I was able to get it, but you had to get like 5 wins, respawn some opponents, and kill some people, which probably was less hard because you just kind of do that naturally. But one of the big things is that you started off with a Mozambique. You started off with Evo Shield at level 1, which you can see is the 25 health, and then of course you had actually a mobile respawn beacon, something new that they brought into the game that they decided that they wanted you to have in your inventory straight away. Now, in the new version, you don't have those things. You only have, of course, the Mozambique, and that is a little bit of a difference. Now, finishes are still key. You know, that hasn't changed too much in regards to that with Armed and Dangerous. You can still be annihilated by lots of guns, as you can kind of see, but you know, I suppose in Armed and Dangerous, one thing I did notice is how vital, if you wanted to win any games, a lifeline is on your team. If you don't play lifeline yourself, try and team up with one or someone who's competent with lifeline, because it makes such a huge difference, with her passive being just absolutely, I think, honestly broken. No cooldown, can spam it as much as you like, and literally, it is probably the best passive, or one of the best passives out there at the moment. Now, something that I did notice is, of course, that they've changed regards to the ammo stacks, which we all know about. So they made snipers a lot stronger and a lot more viable. In the old mode, shotguns were probably the best thing, and snipers tended to be just there in case you needed them. Shields and health is still extremely hard to get, and that was probably the biggest thing that I really kind of just hated about the mode in one way. But I mean, obviously, you know, it's nice playing it, you know, you can get some kills, but the lack of health and shields has still been definitely a big drop. This is why finishes are such a massive thing for shields, and I'll go through that, as I say, a little bit later. Now, in this particular clip, I was very lucky to actually pick up a red shield, bearing in mind that this was needed for victories. I think this was my 4th victory at the time. It was very nice to get. Luckily, it was only a one-on-one fight, so I was very, very lucky with that particular thing as well. I used the Mirage, of course, ultimate, take a shot and win. It was very, very nice to do, and it felt really satisfying. Now, the funny thing is that in Armed and Dangerous, the new one, it doesn't feel as satisfying to win. I mean, truthfully, I have only won the once, which is what the footage will sort of show shortly. But basically, what I did want to say as well is that the triple take in the new one is insanely good. I mean, it's probably the best gun in the game right now, let alone in Armed and Dangerous. For snipers, it's amazing, but you can use it as a shotgun up close as well. It's that good, you can use it up close. Not with my scope, but, you know, the accuracy and everything else like that. Alright, it has got some bullet drop-off, but you've got a precision choke built in. It got more ammo, it has an increased magazine, and it got a faster fire rate buff. So it got 4 buffs at once? I'm sorry, what? But that's what it got, and it made it really insane. Now, the shotguns are still, they are good, but you know, unless you know that little mastiff trick that you can fire this thing at full auto, it's pretty slow going, and I do personally prefer the Eva over the mastiff. However, it does do its job when it hits hard, and as I say, the finishes, this is a key thing. So Bloodhound has a very good finisher, along with some other legends, and of course this is key, because I had no shield cells, I was able to actually, you know, do the finisher, successfully pull it off, and replenish my purple shield, because I'd done the damage, I just had no shield cells, and it was a bit of a pain. Now, I did do a finisher video from slowest to fastest a while back. I'm definitely going to link that in the description, because it's very interesting for normal gameplay and dangerous play as well. I wouldn't really sort of say, you know, do certain finishers aren't very viable, but certain ones are extremely good. Now, the difference is that in the new mode, you don't get the respawn beacon equipped. Luckily, I had foresight, and I actually had picked one up already, just in case one of my teammates had died. I like to think myself as a team player, and I like to think that, you know, if you've got any chance of winning, then of course, it's very, very nice to kind of, you know, pick up your friend's banner, revive them, because a full team is good anyway, but also, you know, you'd hope someone would do that for you, I suppose. Now, the Storm does a lot of damage now. That is one thing I've definitely noticed. Just in general play, not just Armed and Dangerous, the Storm now does a lot of damage. But yeah, the respawn beacons. Now, whereas we all had one just automatically, you have to now actually think about it and pick one up. And it does, of course, still take up at a backpack slot, which is a bit of a nose. And it's one of those things that I definitely would say, yeah, okay, it's one of those things where at least you can get the respawn. There's no challenge for it as such, but as I say, an extra team member when you got the last squad, it's all a good thing. Unfortunately, we didn't win that particular game, but hey, we came second. It could have been worse, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, like with Armed and Dangerous, there are a lot of changes. So Bloodhound. So Bloodhound is a lot better, and of course, characters like Crypto would be as well with their recent buffs. Bloodhound has the Beast of the Hunt now that you can scan every 6 seconds, as we all know, and it is so useful. And in this particular mode, he's very, very strong. I mean, you know the locations of people. You see someone, you shoot them, they're dead. You know, the health level is very, very low. Now, the time to kill is kind of like what it was when Season 6 started, but you only have shotguns and snipers compared to every weapon in the game, which I think is where they really kind of balanced it out, and they changed it eventually, which was the best thing for it. But you know, I mean, like, finishes are keys. Shield swapping is still a massive thing, which I kind of put into one of my videos as well about easy ways, or just ways that you can improve as a player, because there's so many little things that you can do correctly in this game that you really need to just think about, and if you don't, you unfortunately get killed. I do find that there's a lot more camping in this mode though. I mean, people are prepared to camp. Do they want to, you know, push too hard? No. Do they want to shoot you with a triple take or a Kraber? Yeah, absolutely. Indeed they do. And they seem only keen to push you, you know, when they've knocked at least one player down. The problem is that with this particular mode, you know, if you are a sniper kind of player, or you're kind of like shooting people from afar, you might get the down, but likelihood is that the team is going to get the revive because you're just too far away, or they're in a position you can't really then push them. One thing I do like about this mode, and this is just something that I would mention as a side note, is it is very good for getting done challenges. So if you have a sniper or a shotgun challenge as your weeklies, and you've got the pass, it is well worth coming onto this mode just for that, because I tell you what, it is a lot easier to kind of get it when you're not being shot by Volts, Havocs, Devotions, and all those things. You run up to someone with a shotgun in the normal mode, you get absolutely cream crackered. In this mode, yeah, you're still going to get damage, but you have got the chance to deal damage. Eva or Mastiff does a lot of damage. The Peacekeeper's pretty good as well, to be fair, in this mode, and you can get the challenges done. And Snipers is the same as probably what it would be in the normal, but, you know, it's still more viable because there aren't other weapons. People have less health and things like that. So, you know, if you are working on those challenges in the past, or daily challenges or anything like that, it's worth just jumping on for a couple of games and, of course, playing this particular mode. Now, the one thing that I did notice with this particular sort of like game, and sort of others as well, is that, funnily enough, very strange this one, but the kills did not feel as satisfying. Now, in the previous one in Season 5, it felt really good to get a kill. Now, you might say, well, why? It's no different in the mode. I think it was just that, you know, maybe there was a grind for it, there was a lot of other things, and it really, really makes a difference. Now, do notice that my teammate actually was a good teammate and gave me shields, because I gave him a mid pack earlier. That is always nice to see as well, and that was kind of a really good thing. But, you know, regarding kills, I don't know, man, I just didn't feel like it's quite as satisfying this time round. Probably because, you know, I suppose certain guns are just so powerful. I mean, a triple take is just so insane. Now, I do decide to go for the Kraber. I get shot, I get slightly brushed, as you can see, and that is all my shield. I mean, literally, I got slightly brushed, and that was all my shield. And, of course, lack of shield cells and things like that, which is one thing I really, really hate about the mode. No health, no shield. It's horrible. I mean, I don't mind, you know, like, getting shot and sort of things, but having absolutely no heals ever really, really kind of, it can make it struggle, and I was forced in the end to use my Phoenix kit. I am not a great player with the Kraber, and this is something that, you know, I want to practice with. I thought I had that person dead to rights, and I missed them, so I was kind of a bit gutted with that, and I find it really hard to take the shot and hit the target, unfortunately, with it. Maybe, you know, that one, if I can get a knockdown with a Kraber, I must admit, that is the one that I would feel more satisfied with, just because it is much, much harder, and it does take a little bit of precision and aim to actually hit someone with a Kraber. And I see people no-scoping them. I mean, I'm not sure whether they're using an aimbot or they're just really good, but if you get a no-scope, but it's a genuine thing, you're not using any device, fair play to you. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. But in Armed and Dangerous, I think a big thing is, you know, definitely key points is finishes. If you get a chance to finish someone to replenish your shield, do, but make sure you're being covered. If you are sort of like, you know, move around, do not stay still, because if you get beamed by a triple take, 2 hits, you're dead, and you'll have no health to kind of replenish it, so, you know, then you're pretty much out of the match. I think it is a kind of a game mode where you have to like this kind of game mode, or you have to like snipers, and you have to like, you know, shotguns anyway. Shotguns are more viable in this mode, so that is a good thing, I suppose, because at the moment, in the normal meta, they are a bit trash to an extent. And I definitely say that is a big difference. You know, you feel like the Eva just does no damage, the Mastiff does inconsistent damage, and the Peacekeeper, yeah, I mean, it is pretty good at certain points, but, you know, again, very different. I would say that characters like Lifeline and Watson are very, very strong in this mode. Same as actually Crypto and Bloodhound as well. Very, very good legends to kind of use. Of course, the Gibraltars and the Caustics are still insanely strong as well. Some of the others not so much. But, you know, I mean, it is a game mode that really kind of, like, involves a lot of concentration. You know, positional advantages, taking your shots, hitting your targets, timing it correctly, not playing stupid, not over-pushing or overextending, all these things that you probably know. But, you know, if you do want to win a game, you have to be pretty damn careful in kind of, like, what you do in regards to your placement. So yeah, I think that's the main sort of like topic of it. I mean, how are you finding Armed and Dangerous? Are you playing it? Are you enjoying this limited time mode? I mean, at least at the moment we are getting limited time modes, right? I mean, that is a good thing. It might not be anything particularly that new, but, you know, it is a different thing, and the shield being bigger does make a little bit of a difference. Of course, that extra 25 health is nice, but of course, them being empty, it means that you get the damage, but you can't replenish them because there's no shield cells. Yay. But do let me know what your thoughts are of Armed and Dangerous. Are you enjoying it? Are you playing it? Are you not bothering? I'm always intrigued to kind of hear the feedback on what people think about these modes, and whether we could get some new ones would be really nice. I have done suggestions in the past, concept ideas and things, so if you do ever want to check that out, please do. You know, it'd always be nice to hear feedback or new ideas if you've got any. Always good, because let's face it, I mean, new limited time modes would be really nice as well, instead of the same old ones. And before I forget, do let me know if you've actually won a game or two of Armed and Dangerous. You know, is this your mode? Is this something that you're really good at? And what's your highest kills? Mine currently has been 5, but I've hardly played it this time round. So, yeah, this was actually this game. It literally has not been that much. I think I've had 5 a couple of times, so there you go. Okay, so finally, of course, is the vault location on Kings Canyon. That is near artillery, in a hidden bunker underground. It doesn't seem consistent in it dropping every time, but it is there, and it comes with usually 2 kind of clips, so it should be enough to take out at least a squad. Let me know if you've given it a try, and if you have, how many people did you kill with it? I'm sure it's done a lot of damage. But otherwise, that is it for me from this particular video. I don't know the location of the vault on World's Edge, but I'm sure that there is one as well. So if you like the video, a like really helps me out. If you consider subscribing, great, but you don't have to. It's your choice, and no problem either way. But otherwise, that is it from me. So do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I shall see you in the next one. You take care. See you later. Cheers now. Bye.